Our guest for this episode is Tony Chahine, the visionary CEO and founder of Myant, a pioneering company at the forefront of deep tech innovation, advanced materials, and textile computing.
We are not interested in just sick care. So healthcare today is only given to people who are sick.
Right.
People, you interact with the healthcare system only when you're sick, I should say. What we want to do is we want to enable a continuous relationship with your health.
For any of you out there with the groundbreaking idea, remember that perseverance and creativity are key to turning that vision into reality.
Human compliance to care will be significantly higher. Adoption to preventative care will be significantly higher.
Folks, strategic moves like acquiring the Xerox Research Center of Canada really highlight the importance of leveraging resources to push the boundaries of innovation, and Tony's strategic vision shows us how vital it is to invest in capabilities that can really propel your business to the next level. Hi everyone, and welcome to another enriching episode of the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host Chahine, and today we're excited to bring you an inspiring conversation. Today, we'll delve into the fascinating world of advanced materials, textile computing, and their impact on healthcare innovation. Our guest for this episode is Tony Chahine, the visionary CEO and founder of Myant, a pioneering company at the forefront of deep tech innovation, advanced materials, and textile computing. Tony's mission is to create a sustainable and connected future through functional materials. And since its inception in 2010, Myant has been transforming healthcare by embedding sensors and actuators into fabrics to continuously monitor vital signs like heart rate and electrocardiogram. Recently, Tony expanded his vision by acquiring the Xerox Research Center of Canada to further advance his goals of sustainability and wellness. So join us as we explore Tony's journey and the groundbreaking innovations at Myant. Hi Tony, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Myant.
You're very welcome. Tony, we're very excited to learn more from your journey and your great contributions to the healthcare industry. And thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your insights, and we're very looking forward to hearing more about it.
Sure.
All right. Now, to begin things with, Tony, every successful venture begins with a vision and a unique opportunity. Could you share your background and what inspired you to start Myant?
For sure. So let me take you back to 1990, the time I came to Canada. Actually, July 24 was almost like 34 years for me in Canada. So I came to Canada in 1990, and I had a background in electrical engineering. And I was an entrepreneur, did multiple businesses between 1990 till 2010. In 2010, my dad, at a very young age, developed a serious dementia. My mother had passed away a year or so earlier. And he was living alone or staying alone most of the time at his home. And it was very difficult for me and my siblings to stay connected with him. Someone with dementia can't learn new habits, can't interact with medical devices. It's very difficult for family member or the care team to check on him. I just wanted to find a way to stay connected. Where I came from a small community, we take those things for granted because the neighborhood, the families, the friends look after each other. So here I am in Canada, and my dad was living alone in a home. Of course, no neighbors. Most people work and they don't stay at home, and he was there alone. And often he will get lost, or he'll go someplace and get lost, or start getting into difficult time. So it was very difficult for my family to stay connected with him. It's not like back home you can call the neighbor, you can check on him one way or the other. In this case, he was alone. So I wanted to find a medium to stay connected, and that gave me the idea to start Myant.
Wow. No, the inspiration is something we can relate to it as well. My granddad had the same problem. It was dementia, but his developed very later on, which, made sense. But it can totally, your journey really exemplifies the power of innovation and perseverance in creating such a transformative solution. Friends, I want to take a moment to connect with you. Tony's journey is a powerful reminder that innovation starts with a bold vision. For any of you out there with the groundbreaking idea, remember that perseverance and creativity are key to turning that vision into reality. Now, you must have had a lot of challenges in the early days because, going after creating a solution to a problem like that can be, it's new. And how did you persevere? So we'll jump into that now. Tony, what were some of the significant challenges that you encountered in the early days and how did you overcome them?
Sure. You see, as I was saying before, someone with dementia cannot participate using medical devices, can't tell what's right and wrong with them. Yet the entire ecosystem of devices and interactive tools require someone to express what's going on with them. So, if something's wrong with you, you can go to a doctor and you can tell the doctor what's right and wrong with you, and you have a pain here, a pain there. Someone with dementia can't say that. So so we needed to develop a completely new category, a category that allows advanced machine learning to detect a deviation from a baseline. So in the case of my dad, and in the case of Textile, the reason why I chose Textile, because, my dad, if you give him a new watch or you ask him to use a device, he was not able to keep it. He'll lose it or he doesn't know how to use it, etc. But then what we developed using an underwear or a t-shirt or a polo or a sock or a pants. All of those things created interface with my dad's body and transmitted data passively. So there was no need for my dad to input into a device, typing into a device or talking to a device, which is really was important for us, why we chose Textile. But this entire category was completely new. Textile as an interface to become a medical device wasn't easy. Leveraging the data from a continuous multimodality to detect in a personalized with high precision certain biomarkers and event was not easy. There was no predicate to compare to. Usually when you do a medical device, and especially when you go for a Health Canada license, you need to show a predicate device. You need to show a comparable device and why this application using Textile is at least as good, if it's not better. Right. So we, in 2010, the challenge for me, the idea was very big. The outcome was also very big, but the possibilities were very limited. It's not like Canada has an ecosystem of a maker space or making textile as a medical device. The industry of textile has been slimming over the years. It's almost non-existent in Canada, and whoever left in Canada doing something textile, they use old method of assembling textile. In our case, we needed highly advanced, repeatable, robotic, advanced machinery in order to produce a T-shirt, one or a million in the same way. Because when you're producing medical device in a form of textile or non-textile, but in our case in textile, you have to adhere to an ISO standard. In the case of Canada, ISO 13485. So you cannot just do things like the textile industry currently produces, where there is a little bit of tolerance, half an inch here, half an inch there. You can still sell a T-shirt. Right. But in our case, there is no such thing. You have to have repeatable, and it has to be exact. And of course, you have to allow for all sizes at the same time. So every size has to be a perfect fit, and every size, it has to have a very good diagnostic yield, right, and it has to measure data in a repeatable way. So all of that did not exist. There was no reference. I couldn't go to a university and say, hey, do you know anything about textile? How do we make sensors? How to make this? Or can I go to maybe a startup hub, or maybe like what they have today, like Mars Innovation, or maybe Hull Tech, or whatever. There is no place, and still to some extent in Canada, there is no place where you can take an idea in textile computing and make it a product. So we had to develop all of that from scratch in 2010. Took us 13 years to get Health Canada license. Wow. Only we received it in 2023. And then now, after 13 and a half years, 14 years almost, we start commercializing our product in February. So, but I understand the challenge, because to produce a product that has a diagnostic yield that is acceptable, you have to make sure the product is washable, is dryable, and with no degradation to the quality of the signal. So in our case, it's not like we took sensors off the shelf and glued them on textile.
Right.
Some people do that. But in our industry, in this industry, we refer to it as a textile computing. We developed very advanced materials, and then we extruded those materials into fiber, or we covered a fiber with those materials. And then we knitted and weaved those materials into textile in a form of a garment. And then we added electronics and mechanical interface in order to transmit the data from the sensor, which is the textile base, into the cloud.
Wow.
And then we went and validated that data into number of patients to make sure that the data we collect is on par, if it's not better, than the gold standard. And the gold standard in our case was an adhesive patch. You know, when you go to a hospital, they give you those adhesive patch, you have to shave, they prepare the skin, and then you put an adhesive, and then you can transmit your EKG or core body temperature or certain other biomarkers. But in our case, you needed to develop that from an everyday garment that you can wash and dry, that someone like my dad could wear. And then it will transmit dozens of modalities, including his location, his posture, his core body temperature, his breathing rate, how he slept, his EKG, his heart rate, HRV, all on a continuous basis. So I could consume his data, me and my sibling, the same way our community and the neighbors consume each other's data without technology. So that was kind of the idea, but it was very difficult to achieve. As I mentioned, there was no reference. And there was no processes in front of us to copy or to improve on or to go to a university and say, can I do this better? Can I do this way? It was completely pioneered from scratch.
Wow, this is such an invention. It's giving me the light bulb moment. But I mean, this integration of advanced materials and textiles is really revolutionizing, or it will revolutionize healthcare to a great extent. Tony, can you explain why Myant does and what its goal is within the healthcare sector?
Well, yeah, I mean, let me just maybe explain a little bit what healthcare means to us. We are not interested in just sick care. So healthcare today is only given to people who are sick.
Right.
People, you interact with the healthcare system only when you're sick, I should say. What we want to do is we want to enable a continuous relationship with your health. And again, in a small community, there's no such thing when you're sick, it just pop up and then nobody's there to help you. It's part of the community. It's part of the family. It's something that embedded in most cultures, if it's not all. The point I want to make about what we want to do with this, why textile or why healthcare. For me, healthcare is a continuum. It's not episodical and it's not reactive. Currently, the healthcare that we have, as I mentioned, you only interact with it when you're sick, and you interact with it often, especially when you go visit your doctor for maybe a 5-minute or 10 minutes or 20 minutes meeting. So sometime even in that 20 minutes visit with a doctor, even though you may have an accurate data in the moment, there's all sorts of papers published showing that even though you may have an accurate data published in that moment, it's not necessarily reflective of what's going on with you, because many people have anxiety when they go see their doctor. Many people will have a spike in their blood pressure when they see their doctor. And then, or many people don't have the event they complained about before they went to. So you have people complaining. So here's the problem. The issue is we interact with the healthcare system only when we have a problem. And by the time you get to see your doctor, after you complain about the problem, it's always in the future. So the doctor is trying to develop a method to analyze what you complain about, maybe a month, maybe 2, maybe 3 months in the past, by giving you certain tests to do in the future. And they hope what you complain about is repeated when they do that test. Often, especially in electrocardiogram, or when people have arrhythmia or hypertension or some type of irregular heart rhythm, often those events don't repeat in the future in the same way. So this idea of going to the doctor, complaining about something happened in the past, only for the doctor to see in the future, will have many, many missed opportunity to properly diagnose. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to enable a relationship between humans and their care on a continuous basis. So how did we do that? We developed the following requirement. Number one, we said, we need to interface or interact with the humans on a continuous basis. The whole person, not just let me measure the core body temperature, let me measure the respiration, let me measure what's something wrong with you in your foot or maybe on your head. We wanted to measure the whole person, a holistic type relationship with that person. We wanted to measure it in a passive way. Doesn't require you to tell the system something is wrong with you. It knows by itself, or it can detect those things just because it's continuously monitoring you on all of this. It needed to be passive, and it needed to be bi-directional. So not only we sense, we also deploy back to the body certain actuation. Give you an example. Someone with pain, we're developing this massive product for menstrual pain. So we did three trials. 80% of the women who used our Textile for heat therapy stopped taking painkillers. So, but the way we do that is we're also measuring one's EKG, heart rate variability. So when we develop the actuation, we're developing it in harmony with that person, as opposed to one solution fits all. We're doing a personalized therapy that is in harmony with your body, with your tolerance. So those things, we're not trying to mimic the current device. We're trying to enhance the relationship. And so, as I mentioned, first is we have a continuous relationship because we want you to know if there is an event, you don't have to worry. The event is recorded. So when you go talk to your doctor, the doctor could go back retrospectively to that week or 2 or 3 because they don't have time to deal with you in that moment. At least when they deal with you in the future, they can go back to the past and see what you complain about is recorded on the cloud, and they can properly diagnose what's going on. So it's a very different way of dealing with that care. So this way, we will solve number of accessibility issues. Many people don't have time to take time off work to go see their doctors. Many people cannot get an appointment fast enough, and they end up giving up because they maybe after a week or 2 they don't have the pain they complain about. Or maybe some people live in a small town, they don't have the ability or the means to travel to a large town. So what we're trying to do is by using Textile as an interface for care to provide accessibility to anyone, anytime, and to develop a much better relationship. At the same time, distribute that care to family members in the most secure way, acceptable to HIPAA compliance and Health Canada and other regulatory body in that space. But the point is, we just want to create a societal impact that allows everyone to participate in this future society.
We've heard about Myant's advancements in healthcare, with Canada's e-textile market set to reach $3.74 billion by 2024. This growth is transforming personalized healthcare, and after the break, we'll explore even more about Myant's future goals and plans, so stay tuned, please.
You dreamt big. You made the leap. You and your "we're not stopping at small" business. Doesn't matter you've never done it before. You unlock those problems. You adapt to change. You learn to evolve. You're pioneers in challenging times, finding your own frontiers. Wherever you e-commerce, UPS is with you. So nothing is going to hold you back.
4 billion people check their email every day. That's 4 billion missed opportunities if your message doesn't make it. To reach your customer's inbox, you need a winning strategy. And Constant Contact delivers. Literally, over 97% deliverability. Elevate your email game with easy-to-use templates, writing assistants powered by AI, and in-depth metrics. Ensuring your email is flawless, delivered, and read. Constant Contact delivers. Give it a try.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect and recharge,
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
with an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back. We've been discussing with Tony Chahine, the CEO of Myant, about the innovative advancements in smart textiles and their impact on healthcare, including real-time health monitoring and personalized solutions. No, it's so remarkable to see how advanced materials can really enhance healthcare's effectiveness and personalization. To build on this a bit more, Tony, how do you really envision the future of advanced textiles? I know it's a bit too early, and textiles evolving the healthcare.
Material advancement it's going through a major evolution, and once I'm a huge advocate of bringing back to Canada the ability to make, the ability to invent and iterate and make innovative product and materials in Canada. But material science is at the core, the first foundation of almost any physical product. And the more advanced we have in our materials, the more we can enable. And advanced materials are very good for clean tech, very good for biotech and life science, as well as in our space for textile computing. But you can imagine those advanced materials, they're doing drug delivery, or they're drying a wound in a wound care issue, or they're sensing a person's insulin level, or they're measuring from nerve. When people have neuropathy, they don't sense their nerve, or sensing or creating this phantom type sensing. So material advancement is so important for us, for humans, to participate in that hyper-connected world. The world is moving super fast with AI, with autonomous mobility and connected cities and smart homes. Humans need to be in that ecosystem. They need to participate in that ecosystem. For human to participate, advancement in material is a must. And Canada has a significant role and a responsibility, I believe, toward advancing that space.
To everyone tuning in, the integration of advanced materials in healthcare is nothing short of revolutionary. Imagine a world where your clothing can monitor your health in real time. This is a future Tony and his team at Myant are building, and it's incredibly exciting to see how this will transform healthcare. Now let's talk about acquiring the Xerox Research Center of Canada. I mean, acquiring key assets can really boost a company's, significance in terms of, their innovative capabilities. Tony, you recently acquired the former Xerox Research Center of Canada. How is this acquisition supporting Myant's goal?
Sure. Prior to acquiring the Xerox Research Center in Mississauga, we were developing our material and our textile computing and other sensors at a certain pace. But we wanted to accelerate that, and we wanted to get deeper. And we did not have the capabilities in-house in our own company to make that happen. And as I said to you, I'm a huge advocate of making an ecosystem for entrepreneurs and for dreamers and for startups to really make things here. So I had two choices. I will continue on developing material outside Canada and bring them to Canada, which has a significant risk in either IP loss or in slowing down our innovation, or acquire someone like Xerox. Mm-hmm. So when this opportunity came about, we jumped on it. It was a very important opportunity for us to accelerate our development and accelerate our the features that we can enable in our materials in order to create a relationship that will be on par with advanced product that are non-textile. Mm-hmm. So for me, what was important, I wanted to keep textile the way textile is.
Right.
I want it to be fashionable, beautiful, comfortable, but at the same time, I wanted to give textile a new purpose.
Right.
I wanted to give it a purpose where you can call it Textile 2.0, or I call it textile computing. I just wanted to make textile, since it's already covering 8 billion plus people every single day. from top to bottom, even when we sleep in our bed, we have textile. I felt it is the medium. If we advance material-wise, that medium, it will allow us to display standalone devices that we can't interact with continuously, because I wanted a natural relationship between us and AI, and us and IoT, and human, I should say, and IoT, human and AI. And I wanted textile, since it's already present across the day, across the body, across all demographic. I felt this would be the medium that, if disrupted, could create a new paradigm shift in the way we participate in this new hyper-connected society.
This is such a groundbreaking advancement, I must tell you. I'm so impressed. But what are some of the most exciting developments that are resulting from this acquisition, Tony?
I mean, some I could talk about today, some I can't, for IP purpose, for trade secret and patent that we're filing. But the advancement that we have is using material that soon we hope that will be PFAS free, like forever chemical free. At the same time, the whole point is, can I use textile to displace standalone devices? Like, I'll give you an example. It doesn't matter what your purpose going to a hospital. Anytime you do a test, there's some adhesive that you put on your body that has a level of toxin that are not very good for the environment, and they're usually thrown out. They're used once and they're thrown out. So in our vision, we wanted to enable a continuous relationship, and a relationship that a doctor or a caregiver could look at before, during, and after an event on a continuous basis. So textile, the nature of it, what we have developed, is washable. So to start with, it's more environmentally friendly than the one that you use once. But in addition, textile also have issues like microplastics, which a lot of people complain about, and rightly so. So the idea is, can we move our textile, can we advance our technology in material to make sure that we can produce products that are less microplastic or no microplastic, at the same time also PFAS free. That's something that's really important to me. And based on the early development that we have, it gives me hope that we can get there soon. But at the same time, some of our sensing capabilities are becoming really phenomenal. We acquired a company from Switzerland, and if it wasn't for the Xerox center that we acquired now, by the way, it's called Myant X. If it wasn't for that team that we have there, we kept, by the way, when we acquired it, we kept the 60 scientists as well. And we acquired also a license for over 1,000 patents that they developed in very advanced material science. So when we acquired this company in Switzerland, that company has been in business for maybe, 8-9 years before us. When we brought it to Xerox, or to Myant X now, we have significantly accelerated that development, and that's focused on wound care, using textile that has an electroosmosis features. That textile itself, with a very, very small current and very small voltage, like a half a volt, you can dry a wound using everyday textile. You can deliver drug to the wound using everyday textile. Game-changing technology. So the center in that space alone just showed me a lot of evidence that we can move things if a company knows where we want to, if a company knows what it wants, and in our case we have clear vision where we want to go, and you have the team, and you have the tools, and you have the maker space, and you have the ability to go from an idea to scale manufacturing, you'll be surprised how many new things you can create much, much faster.
Now, from our conversation so far, you've really highlighted the importance of leveraging resources to, just do some groundbreaking things. You really push the boundaries of innovation at this point. Folks, strategic moves like acquiring the Xerox Research Center of Canada really highlight the importance of leveraging resources to push the boundaries of innovation, and Tony's strategic vision shows us how vital it is to invest in capabilities that can really propel your business to the next level. But Tony, as we advance, or as the future of technologies, especially healthcare, I should say, is increasingly intertwined between advanced materials and textiles, what are your thoughts on the future of advanced materials and textiles in the healthcare industry?
I think my thoughts are textile is here to stay, and textile is going to evolve significantly fast and much faster when people start adopting it, because they will find that human compliance to care will be significantly higher. Adoption to preventative care will be significantly higher. Accessibility to care will be much easier. And of course, all of those three will be much cheaper. So textile, I believe, will become a new standard of connecting humans to the digital world and AI. And as a priority for us, healthcare will be the first category that we want to play in and participate in. And we want to do it in such a way where, again, one of the reasons textile is so important to me, it allows much more empathy. It allows much more personalization. It doesn't introduce some foreign new things that someone in pain, someone who's sick, someone who's not well has to learn. It's basically, it's the same textile that you're wearing, the same textile that you sleep in. It's the same textile that you sit in. It becomes very familiar. And I personally believe in the business of care, empathy cannot be minimized. And textile can deliver that, and advanced material can deliver that like nothing else.
And to build onto this a bit more, how is Myant preparing for the upcoming trends and advancements in this field?
You know, we have so many advanced ideas. My biggest risk, can we execute on them?
Right.
And can we focus and execute? So we have a significant portfolio of patents, huge amount of ideas. Every day we have a new idea. And the challenge is, and I would say that recently we have pivoted into a laser focused approach into start releasing meaningful product in a much smaller, with a high focus and a much smaller timeline. The key is you just have to deliver outcome.
Right.
And for me, that's the focus we're in. We went from a moment where, is this going to work? Is this going to wash well? Are people going to adopt it? Are people going to like it? Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe it's not manufactured. Maybe I have to manufacture in China. All of those things have been solved. And now we're at the position right now, okay, well, you know what? This is for real. How do we now start introducing it in a focused approach to Canadian to start, and then to export? We have a significant growth in our plan, but at least in Canada, I believe the impact that we're doing today. I'm sorry, maybe I should mention that we are already in number of cardiology clinics today, and the people who are wearing our product love it, and the reason why they love it, because they don't have to shave. They don't have to prepare their skin with a sandpaper. They don't have to. They don't have to deliver skin allergy, because most people, they have to put this adhesive or some type of device on their body that they're not comfortable with. They can't sleep with it. It has wires and all of that. Our stuff is the same as a bra or a tank top or a chest band. And what's important about that is the guideline from at least Ontario and OHIP area is to have a longer range study, for example, for electrocardiogram, around 14 days. But yet the experience in Ontario is around 90% of users only use this for 2 to 3 days. And the reason for that is because they cannot tolerate adhesive patches. People are not comfortable sleeping with wires and adhesive patches and shaving and living with skin sores and skin allergies. Yet when they wear our product, they are telling the doctors how happier they are, how better they feel. And naturally, we get 14 days almost every time.
Wow. The future looks so promising with innovations in advanced materials and textiles really driving healthcare forward. And we love the work that you're doing, Tony. And, we wish you and Myant both continued success. But before we wrap up and let you go, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to aspiring entrepreneurs in the tech and healthcare sectors today?
Well, I can only talk about my experience. It's not easy to give advice, general advice, because each experience requires a very unique set of tools. But a general one I could give you is for someone to dream as big as possible and to never ever give up and to have the perseverance to go the distance. In my case, when I first started Myant, we went to multiple VCs and nobody believed that you can transform textile into a comparable medical device that acquire data such as electrocardiogram or brain data in such a natural way. Nobody believed it. And so I say to every entrepreneur or every person who wants to do something, to really dream big, write it down, map it out, allow for long time to get to the finish line, and expect failure, expect rejection, expect delays, but don't ever give up. Because when you have an idea, and if you can really vet it in your mind and dream it and live it, it will manifest in such a magical way if you will go the distance. So just work very, very hard, give it all you have, and be ready to sacrifice in exchange of having, whatever you wish for.
Oh, thank you so much, Tony, for sharing such invaluable insights and experiences with us today. We discussed a lot. From the inception of Myant to the transformative potential of advanced materials in textiles and healthcare. My mind is just still blown away that something like this could be possible. So thank you for shedding light on such innovative solutions. And we hope to have you back with a new product that we can highlight to our listeners today. But thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very proud. And I wish every Canadian entrepreneur the very best. And I wish all of us can make this country who opened its door for us a much, much better place for all of us. So thank you so much. And thank you, Mississauga. This is our first setup in Mississauga. We still have an office in Toronto and a setup in Toronto. So I'm really grateful to be here.
And that was the end of our discussion with our guest, Tony Chahine, to whom we'd like to extend our gratitude, as well as to our partners, exclusive banking partner RBC, shipping partner UPS, email partner Constant Contact, and exclusive hospitality partner IHG Business Edge. Thank you for our audience for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine by visiting our website, CanadianSME.ca, to stay updated with more insightful episodes. Until next time, continue supporting your local businesses and thrive in the world of small business.